Lori Kuniski.
Here.
Tom Hack.
Here.
Scott Fishel.
Here.
Linda Grassi.
Here.
Jennifer Hardman.
Here. All right, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so the first item on the agenda is the tax budget for fiscal year 2024. Mr. Placco?
Pass out a hard copy for the board. This is also on our board docs website, available online. And I'm just going to read kind of a little statement that's on the agenda, and then I'll kind of walk through it real quick, and then see if there's any comments on that. So the purpose of this hearing is to review the tax budget for the following fiscal year, which is fiscal year 24. The tax budget provides justification for tax levies to support the operations of the district. The tax budget provides the county auditor with other sources of revenue for those funds for that fiscal year. Revenues and expenditures listed in the tax budget for the fiscal year are from the board-approved 5-year forecast for the general fund and projected revenue for the permanent improvement fund based on historical collections and the county auditor's scheduled pay. This is projected spending plan of the district for the next school year. However, the tax budget does not provide any spending authority. Spending authority is established through the appropriations of the district. The tax budget allows community input prior to the adoption of the budget. Approval of the tax budget will be considered during the organizational meeting to follow this meeting. So I pass out this document, and really, to be quite honest, it's kind of an antiquated annual procedure that we do for the county budget commission, the county auditor. And just to kind of walk through it real quick, I find it easier to start at the end and work towards the beginning. There's what's called a schedule of indebtedness, and this is, we list all of our outstanding debt for the county auditor's office. We have what's called a House Bill 264 project that we did several years ago for, I think it was energy efficient lighting, and that gets paid out of our general fund. And then the outside 10 mil limitation bond, it's all our bonds from our construction project for the elementary schools. And there was a refinancing at one point, so now there's 4 different series of debt there, and that gets paid out of our, what's called our debt service fund. So the county auditor just wants that information of what's outstanding on that debt and what's our payments for the next year, so they know to adjust that millage on that levy. Because what they do is each year they'll ask us for our current cash balance in that fund, and they have our debt schedule, and they get an update of what our payments are, and they can adjust the millage as needed. Typically it goes down as our valuation goes up.
Just ask a question on the school energy conversion,
Yeah.
conservation. So under due dates, when they look at the bonds for the schools, they have dates out in the future, and this one says 12/1/19. Is that
29, there's a typo on there.
Okay, terrific. Thank you.
Good catch. It copy and paste, and no one's, it's probably been like that for 5 or 6 years.
So it's about time I got it then, right?
Not for sure it's been like that, but pretty sure it's the copy and paste forward. So working backwards, there's what's called a statement of fund activity for each fund that receives tax revenues, which is your permanent improvement fund, your bond retirement fund or debt service fund, and your general fund. And it's very basic information, what we project our tax revenue to be and what we expect our total expenditures to be. The permanent improvement fund is kind of shot in the dark because we're still working on a facilities plan. We don't know how it's going to pan out, what we're going to utilize and all that stuff. So it's pretty, it's not real, there's not a lot of time or detail put into that. The bond retirement fund one is basically just our annual debt payments that come out of there, and the property tax collection fees is related to that. And then the general fund pretty much comes from our 5-year forecast. Our 5-year forecast includes both the general fund and the joint financing district funds. You got to factor those numbers out, and that's kind of where those estimates come in for the current fiscal year and future fiscal year. Schedule B, which is the page before that, the county auditor's office fills that out. They list all of our approved levies and when they're approved. And on the very front page, this kind of lists what our anticipated revenue is, property taxes. And the county auditor kind of takes that, and the budget commission reviews it. They schedule like a hearing, and essentially all they do there is read off our tax rates, and we just say, yeah, we agree with that. You know, it's pretty. It's not a real intensive process, and it's, you know, our spending authorities and our budget's approved by the board in September, and the 5-year forecast is updated twice a year, and those are really more reflective of our activity than this document. If that makes sense. Does the board have any questions? And that's open to anybody else who wants to make a comment.
Questions?
And this would be voted on in the organization.
Any other comments?
Just so everyone knows, we as a board go over these numbers somewhat regularly, and this is a requirement by law, and so it's almost a cookie cutter.
How much money is built up in the permanent improvement fund that's unspent?
I think there's somewhere between 7 and 8 million right now. Some of that was generated from savings we created with the federal stimulus dollars, and then just kind of being a little bit idle until we figure out our facilities plan.
And how much does that grow each year if it's not spent on?
We average about 2.6 million a year is collected from that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brian Massey, Lobbies for Citizens. I'm reading on here the purpose of the hearing, providing justification for tax levies to support the operations of the district. You submit this to the Budget Commission, is that correct, Mr. Tucker?
Yeah.
Okay, my understanding is that the Budget Commission is nothing more than a rubber stamp, because Prosecutor Colson has indicated that there's a Supreme Court ruling that states that after the citizens have voted for a tax levy, the Budget Commission has no authority to reduce any of those tax levies. So this is just a rubber stamp.
Essentially, that's kind of, that's my feeling as well. It's kind of how it goes. I know other counties have, I think Geauga County, like.
The other counties
and-
change it, but because of Colson, we don't get, the citizens do not get a chance to have a reduction in our taxes when there's excessive taxation pulled out from us. I just want everybody to know that we know.
Any other comment? All right. I'll make a motion to adjourn at 6:54 PM. Can I get a second? I'll second. Mr. Placco, can you call the roll?
Lori Kuniski,
Aye.
Tom Hack,
Aye.
Scott Fisher,
Aye.
Linda Grassi,
Aye.
Jennifer Harden.
Aye. All right, motion carried.
My dad was like screaming, he was unloading the dishwasher. It felt like someone was stabbing him. Find out.
All right, we're going to call the meeting back to order. All right, Mr. Placco, can you call roll, please?
Lori Kuniski,
Here.
Tom Hack,
Here.
Scott Fisher,
Here.
Linda Grassi,
Here.
Jennifer Harden.
Here. We did the Pledge of Allegiance during the tax budget hearing, so we'll skip over that. Next thing on the agenda is nomination for president.
I would like to nominate Lori Kroniski.
Are there any further nominations? All right. So,
Is there a second?
No.
That's just a nomination.
Nominations, no second.
all right. So next thing is the approval of the president. Motion to approve the president for 2023.
I'll second.
We don't need a second for that.
Oh.
You don't need one?
Okay.
What are you doing?
That was-
No,
that's
I
what
do.
was
You made the motion.
Mr. Placco.
It's been there enough years to remember. I don't know.
Ready for the roll?
Please.
Lori Kuniski,
Aye.
Tom Hack,
Aye.
Scott Fisher,
Aye.
Linda Grassi,
Aye.
Jennifer Harden.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. Next is the nomination for vice president.
I nominate Linda Grassi.
Any other nominations? All right, so we can just call roll.
No, to say motion, though.
Motion to approve the vice president for 2023. Can we call roll?
Tom Heck,
Aye?
Scott Fishel,
Aye.
Linda Grassi,
Aye.
you can vote
I'm allowed to
yourself.
vote?
Jennifer Harden,
Aye.
Lori Kniske.
Aye. Motion carried. Congratulations. All right, next on the schedule is establish a schedule of meetings for 2023.
Can I make a suggestion before we do this? Is that we've got a lot of stuff coming up with, obviously superintendent search and things like that, and we struggle as a board, and we need to put a second meeting on the calendar. If we can schedule, at least have a placeholder for what we would consider work sessions each month, because we've seen how ineffective we are at trying to get one on the calendar when we're trying to all of a sudden do it on the fly. And so I think it would be extremely helpful if we were to
Put them on and then
put
cancel
them
as
on.
needed.
I would rather cancel one than try to do what we've been doing in the past, which is try to figure out a way to make one work and it doesn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And plus, we're gonna have transition in the fall. And
Right, there's just
It
a
might be
lot
helpful.
going, I would just, I don't know.
Any concerns?
Thursdays that seem to work for everyone.
Yeah. It's fine, so I certainly understand what you're saying, but oftentimes we put something, I think there's less than a 50/50 chance that any one of the dates that we would choose would actually be used, but if we want to kind of just designate certain dates as potential, I guess we can, but.
I guess I was thinking more that it doesn't have to be an official thing, but when we're talking about dates, even if we just have it as a placeholder on our own personal calendars, so that when if we have to put something else on, we actually know that like,
Right.
we actually may be able to make it happen.
Okay.
Without being like, can we meet at 6:45 a.m. or 11 p.m.?
We have many times said, can we have a work session and then.
Right, and then we're doing these work sessions
Work session.
an hour before a board meeting and not getting all the work done that we even really need to get done sometimes. I know we still have the board self-evaluation that we need to do. We've got a lot of other things.
Okay. So looking from a practical standpoint, should we do the regular meeting and then circle back to
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yes, if that's okay.
Sure.
I just want to put that out there before we started doing that.
So over last year, we met the,
Fourth Thursday.
was it the fourth Thursday? I was going back to look.
Oh, I'm still, I wonder. We're going forward.
So the first one would be January 26th, if that works for everybody?
Yep.
Did we try to keep that same schedule?
Yes.
Yes, please.
All right. The next one would be
February 23rd.
February 23rd. Any concerns with that date?
It's good.
All right. March
23rd.
23rd.
Is that break? Is that break?
Nope.
Break is,
27th.
it's the last full
Yeah,
week.
27th to 31st break.
Any concerns with the 23rd of March?
Good.
No.
All right, next one would be,
April 27th.
thank you.
Sorry, you're already, I never stopped the minute.
That's okay.
So,
Any concerns with the 27th?
That's good.
Good.
All good?
May,
25th.
Okay.
any concerns?
Nope.
All right. June?
22nd.
I would like to ask if we push that to the 29th because of fiscal year end. Typically, we have a lot to approve at that point, and if we have it on the 22nd, we'd like to have a special meeting a few days later.
Okay.
Okay.
29th is good for me.
Yep.
Good for me.
All right. That brings us July 27th. That would be June's last board meeting.
I was just about to whisper to Mrs. Card, this is where I dropped my pen.
I honestly, I'm waiting, what is that picture gonna look like?
I
I'm waiting for the
know.
unveiling.
Is it gonna be black and white?
Well, you know the philosophy behind it, right? All the last two got their pictures taken earlier in their career as superintendent, and to look young and spry, I don't want people to see the before and after of me, so mine will be more current.
Right. There are presidents that maybe have not gone through the same transformation you have gone through.
You know that is. That's after only 4 years, not 16.
All right, so that brings us to August. It's the 24th.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually the first
When is
week of
school,
school.
though?
We
Yeah,
haven't decided yet,
Yeah,
right?
we usually bring it to board February, March.
Yep.
So.
Which assumedly that can always change, but.
We've had
Yeah, we
It's
got
really a wide
So
scatters.
that's gonna be that's probably gonna be the week of school starting.
Yeah.
It's usually that week.
Right.
Yeah, and we typically have meetings that week. Is that a problem?
We could
go the week before. In case of approval.
For hiring.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
The 17th?
that's fine with me.
That, you know,
Or do we plan that special meeting 2 weeks before? Keep it the 24th and plan a special meeting,
That would be
Oh,
probably
that's probably
a
a
good
good
idea,
idea.
huh?
just
Yeah.
in case there's more the first week too.
And we don't have a new superintendent.
okay.
That's probably a very good idea.
See, look at that.
Look at see. So keep it the 24th.
And the 10th, right?
Yeah.
And the 10th?
10th,
Yeah.
17th, 10th.
Are you
10.
gonna have difficulty between the 10th and the 17th, or is the 10th okay?
The 10th will be good, school will most likely start the week of the 21st, so that
Good.
would be good.
The week before.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think we're sometimes back up till.
Duplicating it to the 2021.
Right, I mean, is it?
That would be starting on Monday. I mean, there's a potential we go right up to that Thursday or Friday.
Prefer the 17th?
I think the 17th probably makes more sense just for any last minute thing.
I mean, that's what I think too, but.
Personally, I think we should have a meeting at about 5 o'clock in the morning in August.
You're gonna come right up?
You have us.
What a guy, looking out for our best
All right,
And
interest.
so
you're
we're
gonna,
gonna
you're
do-
gonna be generous and helpful, right?
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna do the 17th and the 24th.
Okay.
All right. That brings us to September 21st? Nope, 28th?
28th.
Everyone good?
Yeah.
Let me get caught up.
Okay.
So 28th is September. Okay, thank you.
All right. That brings us to October 26th.
Yep.
Good.
All right, November, we have to adjust for Thanksgiving,
16th?
Oh, yeah.
16th.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then that brings us to December
14th usually.
meetings to begin at 7 PM as usual.
What was that date in December?
14th.
And so we are adding August 17th.
Do we want to formalize the possible working sessions, or was the suggestion to just block our calendars just in case?
Well, for me, I'm flexible, so it doesn't much matter for me, so whatever suits your schedules.
Pretty much any dates we set now are regular meetings that we're gonna approve.
The
So
rest
that
will
if we
be-
schedule meetings, we'll have to send out notice to cancel if we schedule and don't use it, or we can just do a placeholder. And if we need to make it a special meeting, we can make it a special meeting.
Can we just do placeholders on the calendar? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So
Because
If
if
we
you send
do the
out, if
second-
you send out an invite, then at least I know it's on my
Right, I can send out a
calendar, right?
placeholder, like,
Would it be best to approve these now and then talk about the placeholders?
yeah, that
Yeah.
might be good.
Right.
So maybe we should repeat them one more time.
Right.
Just to make sure we're all on the same page.
All right, so we have January 26th, February 23rd, March 23rd, April 27th, May 25th, June 29th, July 27th, August 17th and 24th, September 28th, October 26th, November 16th, December 14th. Meetings will begin at 7 PM. We have it noted as the lecture room, but there's been some discussion whether we'll move back here to the board.
You can always
Switch
just
it.
put a sign on the door. It's not a big deal. Just
Okay.
right next to each other. If it
Perfect.
was a different building, then we put on notice, but if they're right here.
Okay.
it's not your thing.
All right, so make a motion to approve the schedule of meetings for 2023. Can I get a second?
Second.
There we go.
Mr. Fischel?
Absolutely.
All right. Mr. Placco, can you call the roll?
Scott Fishel,
Aye.
Glenn Gransky,
I,
Jennifer Hardy,
Aye.
Lori Kniske.
Aye.
Tom Heck.
Aye.
Motion carried. Right, so just to follow back up on the placeholder on the calendars, if Mr. Placco just sends out the second Thursday of every month, just in case we need something, just, would that be okay, or is, try to make it a little easy?
Yeah,
I mean,
you're okay, Mr.
Again,
Fisher?
whatever works, because I'm mostly available, so.
Yeah,
I
so
think it makes the most sense to do it that way.
Thursdays seem to be a day that we can,
Yeah, that's the
Come
one
to the
day of the week
table.
I'm always in town.
So that would not include next Thursday, correct? That would not include the 12th of January. So this,
nothing for you.
well, I'm gonna
Because
be
you
on top of
asked.
my game and not be there if there's no meeting, so, so,
I think we're good. Not
Yeah, I
next.
think we're fine. I think it's just as we kind of get.
December will be the only month that the regular meeting's the second
Vacations are scheduled in between.
Thursday of the month.
all right, but I, just so that I, for planning purposes, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and add those, just so I don't schedule on top of that.
I would ask if there's anything
The second
we think
Tuesday.
is coming
Second
up,
Tuesday.
that we try to figure that out like a week ahead of time. Is that too short? At least a week?
For what?
If we need to use that working session, I'm just thinking so everybody knows what is happening with that potential date. If there's any topics that don't come up at the table, that we make sure that we
Yeah,
notify each other that a meeting is needed.
yeah, I think that's fair to say a week, right?
And we usually do that at the board meeting prior.
We would
anyway.
typically have that,
Yeah,
yeah. But just in case.
I agree. I think that'd be great. Thank you all for doing that.
All right. You can-
Yeah, I do have some conflicts, but anyway, they're just placeholders.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to the standing authorizations for 2023. So there's a motion to approve the following standing authorizations, number 1 through number 34, as recommended by the treasurer and superintendent.
I will second that.
I have one item in here, and it's number 3.
So Belinda's, I'm sorry, Mrs. Grassi seconded it, and then, what's the discussion? Go
Okay,
ahead.
discussion. On number 3, I know that certain people in the public have asked for additional notification. And if it's possible to do Facebook and/or other social media, then that would be helpful to some of the people that.
They have been.
Yeah, we have.
Have
Been doing it for all
we
of
have
them?
been doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have it listed here just
Yeah,
because.
I don't see
It's
it.
not, well, it's not an authorization.
So, okay,
We
so,
have been doing that.
so we're doing Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mhm. Any other discussion on those? All right, Mr. Placco, can you call roll?
Belinda Grassi,
I,
Jennifer Harden,
Aye.
Julie Kniske,
Aye.
Tom Heck,
I,
Scott Fishel.
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, that comes to our standing committee appointments for 2023.
I do want to make one suggestion, and just before we start doing this, and we do have a lot of changes coming up this year, obviously with having a new superintendent coming in. I personally think it might be really good to keep committees as they have been this year, just for the consistency and all that, when we're gonna have a lot of change coming up. That would be my own personal
I'm just gonna make the same
Opinion.
suggestion, so.
fabulous.
Any other discussion on that suggestion? Good with that, Mr. Fishel?
I agree.
All right, that makes it easy. So finance and audit personnel chairperson is Belinda Grassi. I think Mr. Fishel was the member. Policy committee is Jen Harden,
Yep.
and member is
Tom.
Tom Hack.
Yep.
Thank you. Curriculum and programming is Mr. Fishel. And member is
Me. Jen.
Jen Harden. Buildings and grounds is Tom Hack as the chairperson.
And then Belinda as member.
Belinda Grassi as the member.
Easy peasy.
All right. So motion to approve the standing committee appointments for 2023.
A second.
And Mr. Echo, can you call the roll?
Jennifer Harden,
Aye.
Lori Kniske,
Aye.
Tom Heck,
Aye.
Scott Fishel,
Aye.
Belinda Grassi.
Aye.
Motion carried. That brings us to standing board liaisons. So we have the Alumni Association. Is it the same thought here to keep these the same as previous years, or is there
I mean,
some discussion
I
on
think especially,
adjusting?
I mean, I'd be good to keep it, but
I'm good to keep it. I don't,
Ms. Grassi? I'm good. Mr. Fishel? All right, so this
easy.
Alumni Association is Mr. Fishel. Booster Organization is Mrs. Harden. Legislative Liaison is Mr. Hack. Strategic Plan Committee Liaison is Mrs. Grassi. Superintendent's Business Advisory Liaison is Mrs. Krenski. All right, make a motion to approve the standing board liaisons for 2023. Can I get a second? Mr. Official, thank you. And Mr. Placco, can you call the roll?
Lori Kniske,
Aye.
Tom Heck,
aye.
Scott Fishel,
Aye.
Belinda Grassi,
Aye.
Jennifer Harden.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And just one quick little thing out there for the Alumni Association. If anyone went to Riverside and hasn't joined the Alumni Association, they're begging for members, so please do so. Okay.
All right, that brings us to approval of the tax budget for fiscal year 2024. Make a motion to approve the tax budget for fiscal year 2024. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Hack. Any discussion? All right, Mr. Placco, can you call the roll?
Tom Heck,
Aye.
Scott Fishel,
Aye.
Belinda Grassi,
Aye.
Jennifer Harden,
Aye.
Lori Kniske.
Aye, motion carried. All right, so that brings us to our next meeting, which will be on January 26, 2023 at 7 p.m. Make a motion to adjourn at 7:19 p.m. Can I have a second?
Okay.
Steph?
Are we gonna continue having them in the lecture room or here, or are we just gonna decide as we go on?
We approved this lecture room. We can always adjust that as needed.
And with the number of people that have been showing up from time to time, it's probably better to start there. I mean, Nick would have to reset up. Not that that's that difficult, but
I'd also like to know before we adjourn the meeting, if we can set committee meeting dates, if any committee chooses to do so. I know that we've been meeting the Thursday before the board meeting for the finance committee, which completely works for me if we can, if that works for you. I'd love to just have those set on the calendar so I don't have to think about it again. And buildings and grounds, right, does that work? What do we
Yeah.
do, Monday?
I think we did Mondays. I did complete one.
I don't remember what day it was, but it worked, it seemed to work, at least those two committees. I just like to get stuff on my calendar because I schedule my life.
and which day is that you want?
We did Thursdays, right? Thursday mornings before the board meeting?
Yeah, in which week?
The week before the board meeting.
Okay.
So,
That's what
yeah,
we just,
so it's the third,
Yeah, just
right, the
repeat.
third Thursday.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that kind of stuff, it just helps me schedule my.
and then for curriculum, I'm gonna be out of town next 2 weeks, so.
Oh, that's good to know.
Tuesday the 24th or Wednesday the 25th?
No, my husband said he had the 24th.
Okay,
Oh,
23rd.
yes, that's.
23rd, okay.
23rd would work, yes, we
Okay.
could do that.
So we'll do Monday the 23rd. at-
Yep.
My only concern might be is
Oh.
I'm coming home from Indianapolis extremely late the night of the 22nd. The last 2 years I haven't actually come home at night from this competition my daughter and I always go to, so there's a chance I won't be back in town that morning.
Okay, I mean, is that okay?
Yeah.
I mean, because we're kind of squeezing it in, and we didn't have one last month. so.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing is could we do it like Friday morning, the 20th, before I go out of town?
Well, we're having a meeting on,
No, he's gone now. I think you're
The
gone till
20th?
when?
no, I'm gone the next 2 weeks.
Right, so when you.
You're not here on the 21st.
Oh,
you're not gonna be
talking-
here.
okay, so
I said the 20th, like, could we do Friday, yeah.
No
So,
20th.
my scheduler's in the room.
Perfect.
That's why I was like, wait, so you are correct, so that's why we did it the 20th,
Yeah.
because you're not.
Right,
Okay.
you're coming back on Sunday, I'm coming back Saturday night, Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
We need
Our meetings were easy.
a buildings and grounds for sure, because we do have that meeting with NB5 next week,
Do you guys want to talk about those dates real quick? Make sure that.
right?
Yeah, so when, I'm sorry, so I don't know that I have that on my calendar with NB.
It's with the administration.
7:30?
before we
Oh,
meet with the
okay.
committees.
I was just saying, because of that meeting, any information
I mean,
that's.
do you want it?
Comes out of that
7 or
meeting, we
7:15?
can report to the buildings and grounds for the board.
When is it?
It's 11.
Okay.
So,
7:30.
and Melinda,
They're trying to reschedule that too. So
we've been meeting at 7:30 on
He's supposed to come to the
Tuesdays,
board meeting.
and I'm wondering if do we move that to 7:30 on Wednesday? Or Monday?
Doesn't make any difference to me, as long as I have it on my calendar, I can schedule it around.
Okay.
We're still talking about it.
No.
23rd. Yeah. Okay, we'll start
Yeah.
Okay.
there. Yeah.
I'm going to let you-
Well, and then if Jeff's not there, we can always work on that.
Yeah, but we can maybe tentatively sketch something out that makes sense
Yeah.
for how things play out the remainder of the year, so we get them on the calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
So curriculum is good? You have
Good.
Sorry.
That's
Curriculum's
okay.
good.
We did 7:30 on
Tuesday, second Tuesday.
Well, I can just tell you right now.
So I guess if I had my druthers, I would do the second
We're
Monday.
doing it monthly, and we're doing it like the Monday before the
But
following month.
because of
and
the
then Atlanta, so 100%.
I would move our meeting to the third Monday, the 16th, so
Yeah.
that we can get the benefit of that meeting, and then go back to that, we
Yeah.
stick with third or second.
I agree. Yeah.
We just attended that meeting.
No, I agree. I just have a
But
ton of
I'm
travel
looking to
between now
reschedule
and
that
then.
meeting too, so it's.
Oh, it's up in the air.
Campbell and I are gone almost every weekend for the next.
Yeah, so, Mr. Grassi, you brought up a good point.
They are gonna come to.
Yes, no, I'm 100% not home for a couple of weeks for sure. Some I do for sure, but some I don't. I'll be back.
We don't do it before the 26th.
Yeah.
We kind of figured.
Mondays are hard. I leave some Thursdays, but not.
Early's gonna come to that.
So.
So she,
Should we just adjourn the meeting and like get?
I think so, just so we're not keeping everybody.
Well, the one thing I want to, there's so many things going on in January. One was going to have the athletic director come and do a presentation on the accomplishments, what's been going on with the athletic department for this past fall. Also, putting to our order for the strategic plan was to give an update to the board in January as well. I'm not sure if the board wants me to do all of these things in one night.
See, that's why we need those.
And then
Exactly.
NB5 too, so, I can, in the strategic plan, I could do it in February. I don't wanna push back the department too much, because we'll already be through.
But that's why Belinda was just saying too, like, things like the strategic plan, that's exactly why we're talking about doing like the work sessions and having extra things like that, that we can present those things and not.
The strategic plan, what we have to update the board isn't any more than maybe, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes for each of the categories that we have.
so just, I mean, I know it's convoluted, but is the NV5 meeting that is with the administration, is that the focus group, or is that to present, here are our findings?
That was kind of get an update, to kind of see if we're going on the right path before we have something publicly presented.
So that's why I feel like, I don't know if you and I can attend that.
Yeah, so I do believe the board needs to, before they come and present, and here's the recommendation, I guess I don't want the first time I see the plan to be the January 26th. I mean, I want to be able to understand, I'm wondering if we should.
They weren't gonna have the plan finalized.
It's a draft.
Did you talk about?
I'd still like to know where they're going for the
So
26th.
here's the guidance, the guidance that's been given is that they should bring the draft to us at a board meeting so that we can have public discussion about the draft. Instead of presenting it to us outside of the board meeting. So that's kind of the direction that they've been provided as far as, that way the board can have discussion about it and give them some more direction.
So what about a working session, which would be a board meeting as well?
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, so this is, you know, well, we have several big things going on, but the NB5 and the way forward is one of two major things, right, that are gonna set the direction of the district for the next many years.
Well, I agree with you, Tom, because I think this is what we were kind of talking about, where we kind of go sideways. I feel like sometimes we have these big issues that we try to stuff into a board meeting, and it's not, something like
It's not
that
feasible.
isn't a board meeting
It's not
discussion. It really should be a full work session, this
Yeah.
type
I'm
of
gonna
situation.
suggest just how in February we'll do the strategic plan.
That's fine.
Update. Yeah, because I'm not even sure if Melissa will be here as well, and she's obviously part of
Yeah.
The plan's already finalized, just kind of getting an update on the progress.
Yeah, that, I'm less worried about the strategic plan as I am though, but NV5.
And when, and NV5 is scheduled to present on the 11th, but you're gonna move that?
Wait, what?
Do you know what, you don't know when?
So should we,
This is an update.
okay,
You have, that's all it is.
I know, but it's an update on the plan, but an
can we
opportunity
take
for
the
us to discuss
M5, you
it.
prefer to see that at a work session?
I think that we should have,
Dedicated.
it's hard, it's
Fully
it's
agree.
big. We gotta
Yes, and it
zero in
requires,
focus.
it deserves more than.
Should we take
more
advantage of
about
that
it.
February 9th meeting that we were gonna block for a work session?
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah,
see if we can plan to that? That would be perfect.
Or is that,
So for the sole purpose of NV5?
Yes.
February 9th, we're talking about?
So February 9th is actually a potential issue.
so let me just ask a question, why are we pushing it out that long? If they already have the information that they're gonna present to the administration, why can't we do it in January, like?
I have conflicts on that. I have a conflict.
Are they saying they don't have their information complete yet?
I don't know. I know our rep is out of town for 2 weeks. And then one of the issues, I think we were going to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think they haven't completed their work yet.
That's why I was pushing out a little bit, is because I think they are.
Can we ask them if they're available February 2nd? Could you guys do the 2nd? If we need to do that second, like,
The second would work for me.
That's fine. We want to ink that in?
Lori's checking one more calendar.
Sorry.
I'll check with them, make sure they're available.
Well,
Well, that's what I said, if you can check with
Okay.
them, but they need to make themselves available.
They said they would be available when we wanted them.
Yeah, so they need,
When they presented. So,
so they need to make
So
themselves.
February 2nd we'll aim for? Okay, thank you.
right, and I think it makes sense because at the end of the day, we put a lot of things on the table on buildings and grounds that have said, well, we have to wait for the plan, right? We're not that we're not making progress, but we're kind of in a holding pattern, so.
Belinda, August 17th, if we're going to have a meeting in the morning, we also have a meeting in the evening. Is that okay with you? Okay, you too.
So, again, real quick, we can finish settling up the committee meeting dates. We added the working session for February 2nd, as long as MP5, who should be available, can come and present to us. Right,
Can you guys restate what dates of the meetings are on?
I can do that.
Thank you.
And correct me if I'm wrong. So, we have January 26th as a regular meeting. We have just now added February 2nd as a potential working session meeting. We have February 23rd as a regular meeting.
What time are we gonna do the February 2nd? Do we have a time?
I would say keep it at 7 PM if everybody's okay with that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just stay consistent? Okay.
Yep.
Where did I leave off at?
End of February.
Thank you. March 23rd, April 27th, May 25th, June 29th, July 27th, August 17th, and August 24th, September 28th, October 26th, November 16th, December 14th. All meetings will begin at 7 PM. And then again, Mr. Placco is going to block time for the board, just in case we need any other working sessions, the second Tuesday of every month, just in case.
Except for February.
Except for
Except for February now. In January. Not January, not February.
And you know February 2nd is Groundhog Day.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if it doesn't get repeated.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Are we good? Everybody's good?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe make a motion to adjourn.
I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. So let's make a motion to adjourn at 7:31 PM. Can I get a second?
I second.
All right. Mr. Placco, please. Call the roll.
Scott Fishel,
Aye.
Belinda Grassi,
Aye.
Lori Green,
Aye.
Tom Hack.
Aye.
Motion carried.